So we were in San Francisco this past weekend when we heard of the passing of Kobe Bryant, and I don't know if there is anything worse than this loss, especially in the sports world. It was very clear the world was moving different on Sunday in San Francisco. It was like a giant. There was like, I personally felt like a piece of my soul had been ripped from me, and I wasn't the biggest basketball version of Kobe fan, but like his strides in everything, just like manhood, sports, leadership, motivation, inspiration.
He's an accomplished dude.
I didn't realize how young he was. He was 41. And it's because he's been so successful ever since he was 18. And just like, it is one of the most tragic things I think I've ever come across, and just sheer and utter sadness. And obviously condolences for his family.
Well, his daughter too. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it was, and even more so, such a young life. But you know, like you said, I talked to so many people yesterday. I talked to, Bob Menery and other people in the sports world. I talked to people across the board to kind of gauge reactions. And that was one of the things that I felt so viscerally yesterday, which was how big that hole felt and how much it affected people across the board through all spectrums. And, all the athletes that I watched described Kobe with in the same light. What will you miss most about him? What was the most recognizable thing about Kobe? And it was this burning desire to win.
The Mamba mentality.
Yep.
And I think he brought that into everything that he did in his life. And it really, really, really hurts to know that he finally was, stepping away from the game to work on other pursuits that included bettering the world, bettering kids' lives, helping kids get into athletic programs and be better at what they do. And just for LA, for California, and for the entire world yesterday, it just felt like there was a hole. And I cannot remember a time, a larger loss in the sports world ever. I don't think there ever has been a larger loss in the sports world in the history of this world. 41 years old with his daughter. And by the way, 7 other people, pilot, a coach from a Orange County baseball team or softball team or whatever it was.
His daughter's friend, her parents.
Just a massive loss, but also I can't remember the last time there was a death that made this camp move so slow and move so differently. Just yesterday was as a whole was basically a lost day. Yeah. I could not, even being with my family who I don't see very often, I could not remove myself from this intense sadness.
It's always so strange when an icon passes. Like, you've never met Kobe.
Tragically. Before their time.
Before their time, certainly. Even when it's their time and they've lived a long life, it's still sad.
Agree.
Something like this, completely unexpected. You don't realize even how much you cared about Kobe until he's gone. How much he affected your life. Like, it's insane. Everyone taking a shot. Kobe,
bro. We did it the day before at Chase's warehouse. We were shooting basketball.
We drove past
and the bear at the place we're buying. Remember the bear with his hand? We say it all the time, but I mean, even like I met him in 2017 at the summit, LA Summit, and they made this cartoon about him he worked on about his life and why he fell in love with the game of basketball. And I mean, it's a real life love story. Yeah. I mean, the way he treated the game, the way he approached it, the way he took the time and effort to learning the in and out of one of, the most important games in American history, the passion he had for it and the passion he had for the other players and, bringing up these new players. He's worked with all of the players, all of the coaches. He was one of the most beloved people in the sport and in the country. And I watched that cartoon that, was made that he worked on and he presented to to people at the summit, and the way he was able to control and enamor a room, it was just mind blowing. I mean, he was able to captivate, and the amount of love that was in the room and the amount of love that was in this country, and most of all, the amount of love that was in LA for Kobe Bryant is just unmatchable. And there's no other way to put it than it's just a tremendous, tremendous loss for the sport and for the world in general.
It still doesn't feel real. I woke up this morning and the headlines were still there, and it's like something's not computing. It doesn't make any sense. And I guess in scenarios like these, I always try to learn something like grasp for a takeaway. And we've seen it on the news. It's like you really got to milk life. Like none of this little shit matters. Like don't get caught up in the minutia of life. Tell the people that you're beefing with that you're cool. Spread love, spread positivity. Like there's just no time for this negative shit, which actually we're going to get into today with
you had a moment like that.
An incident we had at UC Berkeley. But even just like, fuck, dude.
What does it do for like clearly this is a massive issue. The helicopter crashed. Why did the helicopter crash?
So
is this something,
so that's that.
I think they're going to investigate that.
How does this affect helicopter technology going forward?
Well, tactically for us, we occasionally ride helicopters. I can't say I'll be doing that ever again.
Honestly, helicopters are dangerous.
Now it's saying though it's fog related.
Fog related. I heard a drone rumor at first. I heard a drone may have got caught in like something.
We could literally at the end of the day, we could literally do an entire episode around the reaction to this. I mean, just watching how the internet moved. I mean, it took over the entire internet.
I've never seen
all 30 trending spots on Twitter. The rumor mill began. Rick Fox got dragged into it at one point. People were saying that Rick Fox was on the helicopter. I mean, we could talk about all that stuff. There's also I spent the entire day watching and observing the negative side of the internet, the trolls. The people, I will not mention this motherfucker's name, but this guy that was saying shout out to the pilot who forgot to gas the helicopter up, and he was thankful that I won't say his name, but I went crazy on him, and Ice-T shouted him out. In all honesty, and we'll talk about this again later with the spit situation. First Amendment is great. It really is. It's one of the greatest things in the world. It allows us to have this platform. I'm honored to live in this country and honored by the First Amendment and the people that gave us that. But I also am honored to punch a motherfucker in the face. If you people need to be held responsible, you have the First Amendment right to say whatever you want, but understand that just doesn't always clear you from the consequences of doing it. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that. But in all honesty, like our billionaire friend that we had on the other day, sometimes pride and is bigger than those things. I mean, this when you talk about being happy about someone dying alongside their fucking daughter.
Ugh, disgusting.
When I see you
say his name. I saw this dude on Joe Rogan, and his energy, the first couple words that came out of his mouth, I knew he was a piece of shit. And when he slammed Kobe, I think they doxed him. On Twitter, someone like leaked his address but what you're saying is absolutely right. There are implications for your actions. There are real life repercussions that can take place. I learned this the very hard way. And I live and I move knowing that information. And I don't know what he expected to happen, but not the move. What was his name? Do you not want to say it? I don't know.
I really prefer not to say it. I think people are going to find it anyways, but keep in mind, like, shock comedians have existed forever.
This wasn't him being a shock comedian.
But it's what he does. He does shock comedy. And the only reason they do it, the only reason shock comedians exist in the world is because they're shit comedians. They cannot come up with genuine fucking comedy. And so they say shit that shocks people and makes them mad. And the only reason he has a platform, the only reason this motherfucker exists is because people talk to him when he says fucked up shit. In all honesty, I'm pissed at myself for responding to it on Twitter, but the anger I felt was so visceral. You fucking scumbag piece of shit. Like, I never wish bad upon anyone. I never threaten violence against anyone. But honestly, dude, like,
you don't have to.
Bro, what else do you do in that situation?
Nothing. Hands off.
I get it.
But like, take care of him, dude. That ain't on you. I understand. I understand what you're feeling, but it's not on you to handle what needs to be done with this man.
How fucked up
Yeah,
How
It's tough
fucked
'cause
up, bro? Could you fucking be, dude? Like, what kind of scumbag could you be when someone dies alongside their daughter to make a fucking joke about that? Like you fucking scumbag. You are a worthless human. You are a worthless fucking human. Honestly, that's it. That's it. Yes. Should I big up and say, yo, I hope you get better. I hope you get the help you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should.
It's a
but
tricky
right now I want to say fuck you, bro. And honestly, like if that dude was here right now and I could find him and he was in front of this house, I would beat the fucking shit out of that motherfucker, dude. Straight up, because that's fucked up. When kids get brought into it, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's tough, Mike, because what your response did was only blow up his spot, which like the attention goes to him, whether it's good or bad.
I mean, but attention aside, like who cares? He got the attention he wanted, and by the way, it's not good attention. And Mike, everything you're feeling is warranted. And I'm sure a lot of people feel the same exact way. I just I don't know. He is a grown man, so maybe there's less leeway for him to make a mistake and say something erroneous.
You made a
hasty.
mistake. You made a mistake. You pushed the boundary too far. This dude lives this life. This is the 26,000th joke he's made like this.